OpenAI just released the ability to create ads campaigns from product feeds. So essentially what that means now is that you can export your entire Shopify store directly into OpenAI Ads Manager and start to run your product campaigns from there. What's going on? My name is Zachary, and today I will be showing you how you can export your product catalog from your Shopify store directly into OpenAI Ads Manager product feeds. Just a couple quick notes before we go ahead and jump into it. You do have to have a minimum of 1,000 products in your Shopify store and a maximum of 2 million products. Variations do count. So let's say you have sizes small, medium, and large. That would count as 3 products. So if you have 500 products with 3 different variants of them, then you would hit that 1,000 product minimum. Also, these ads that are created are going to be using the same format as the current ads, but they may evolve in the future. And the title and description will be pulled directly from your product feed. So you will not be able to edit the title or the description of these ads. All right, we will be needing a couple different tools to make this happen, and I'm doing this specifically on Mac. I do have a Windows tutorial version available. I will link that in the description below. So first things first, we're going to come over to this GitHub repo. We're going to come here and then download as a zip file, and that should download up there. And then we're going to come over to cyberduck.io, and we're going to download it for Mac. Next, we're going to come over to our Shopify store, come to the settings, then come over to apps, then go to developer apps, and then build app and dev dashboard. Then come up in the top right corner, click create app, and then name it whatever. We're going to call this product feeds, right? And create. Sweet. So once you get to this page, we're going to come on down to scopes right here. Then you can click select scopes. Okay, for some reason, the select scopes button is not working for me. So if it's not working for you either, basically the scopes that we are going to need is read products and read orders. So if it's not letting you select the scopes, you can go ahead and copy and paste those into there, or just type them out. Next, we're going to come down to redirect URLs. We're going to paste this link right here. This link I'll have in the description below, so you can copy and paste it. Sweet. Once that is all set, we can go ahead and click release and release. And then now our app should be releasing. Nice. We can see our product feeds 2 is active. Then we can come over to settings. That's going to give you your client ID and your secret, which you will need in a couple minutes. Next, we're going to open up that zip file that we downloaded from the GitHub repo, and it should give you a file that looks like this, with dashboard, readme, and scripts. What we'll go ahead and do is open our readme.md for Mac, and then it should pop up with a file that looks something like this. So to start off, what we're going to do is come back to our folder here, go back to wherever it is hosted or stored, and then right-click on it, go to Services, and then do New Terminal tab at Folder. Now that should open up a terminal tab that looks like this. Once you have that terminal tab, now we're going to come back over to our read.md file, and what you're going to do is start putting in all of your information into this section. For the Shopify store, you're going to grab this portion right here of your URL and paste it right there. For your Shopify client ID, come back to your developer dashboard, copy that client ID right there, paste it into there. Then same thing for your client secret, go ahead and copy and paste that right there. And then it also has the read products and read orders Shopify scopes already selected. Once you have everything in there, what you can do is go ahead and copy and paste that into the terminal. So now your terminal has all of the information it needs to start actually getting access to your Shopify account. Next thing we're going to do is come down to this script right here, copy it and paste it into there. And now it's going to give you a link that you are going to open into a new tab. Now this should say Shopify authorization complete, or it may give you a prompt to install the app. Then once you install the app, it should give you the Shopify authorization complete. You can now close this tab. So now if we come back to our terminal, we can see it just gave us our Shopify admin access token, which we can now copy and paste into our README file. Now copy this whole export section with the Shopify admin access token and paste it into there to give our terminal more context. Now we're going to come down to this next section and you are going to fill in all of your store's information right here. Just put your store name, your store URL, your return policy, and then your store URL again. Then we can go ahead and copy and paste that back into the terminal, and now it has the information for that. Then next up, we are going to grab this script right here, and this will actually start to export all of our products into this folder right here. So as you can see, it's exporting 100 of them at the time. I did notice that sometimes when exporting, you may run into throttling issues if you're doing them 100 at a time. So if you are running into that issue, copy and paste this script right here. This will basically limit it to grabbing one product at a time. So if you do have a lot of products, it will take a long time, but you will not hit any of those throttling issues. Sweet. As we can see, it wrote 9,433 rows to the folder right here. And if we look up, we can see all of these were skipped because they're missing an item ID, price, or URL, whatever they are missing, it ends up skipping them. Sweet. Now if we come back to our folder, come over to exports, now we can see we now have this OpenAI products.json.gz. Sweet. Now we are going to open up CyberDuck. When you open it for the first time, it should look something like this. Then what you're going to want to click is Open Connections. And you're going to change this from FTP to SFTP. Now come back over to your OpenAI Ads Manager, come to Tools, come to Feeds, and then in the top right corner, click Create Feed, and it should give you a screen that looks like this with your SFTP connection details. What you're going to do is now just copy and paste this information into CyberDuck. So we can see our SFTP commerce platform, that is our host, and that's going to be the server. For our username, copy the username, paste the username. For the port, you can see the port right there. Then for your password, you can come down here and regenerate your password or generate it for the first time if you haven't done it. Then you can paste that password in there and go ahead and click connect. And then you can click allow. And then it should look like an empty folder that looks like this once you get into it. Now what we are going to do is come back over to our exports folder and then just drag and drop this file right into CyberDuck. And you can go ahead and click allow. Now you can see upload complete. Then we can go back to CyberDuck and see that the OpenAI products are now in there. So if we come back over to OpenAI Ads Manager, come over to campaigns, come over to products, and you're going to have this filter that automatically gets applied. So go ahead and clear the filter. And then your products should start to populate in here. I do already have products in here, so they were faster to load, but it takes a minute or two, but then all of your products will start to load all into here. So once you have all of your products into here, what you can do is now you can go ahead and create a campaign. So if you go to create, go to campaign, now you can call it whatever. I'm just gonna call it product feeds. If I can spell product, right? Then come down to campaign type, click product feed, objective, clicks. And then for this landing page query parameters, if you come back over to the README file, you should see it right here under tracking parameters. Grab this section of text right here and paste that into your landing page query parameters. Basically what this is doing is now tagging any of the link clicks with the OpenAI parameter, as well as tagging it to the campaign ID, the ad ID, and the ad group ID, just so you have all of the information tracked. Then you can set your budget here and your conversion events. I'm going to do order created. If you need help setting up the conversion events, I will leave a link below to my video on how to set up your OpenAI pixel. And then start date, end date, you can change all of that. Now what you can do is make ad groups. So this one I'm going to do gloves. Now you can set your maximum CPC and then click your product feed. And now you can see I've got 9,200 products that are currently matched. And what I can do is now come over to something like product category. And these product categories are going to be your collections from your Shopify store. So if I wanted to go to, let's say specifically nitrile gloves, Now I can click on disposable Nike trial gloves, the category that I have on Shopify. And now you can see it limited it down to 865. And it's cool too because you can do multiple ad groups. Now we can come over to this one. Maybe I want to do tarps. What I could do now is go to that same ad group, add a filter by title. Title contains tarp. Now any product that has the word tarp in the title is now currently matched. When you go to configure the ads, the only thing you really have control over is the ad name. So I'm just going to call it tarp 1. It automatically grabs the headline directly from your product description. Same thing with the description here. It just copies the first 65 or so characters from your actual product listing. You do have options over the image URL, but I really haven't seen any difference with this, so I would just leave it alone. And really what I would recommend doing is optimizing your products on Shopify so that it doesn't cut off like this, right? Like you can see it's heavy duty silver black poly tarp 10, now it's cut off. You have no idea what it's talking about. So if anything, even duplicate your products, make new collections of campaigns that you want to run on OpenAI Ads Manager, and then rename all of your products and redo all of their descriptions so it actually fits into this format. All right, now is the important part. We've got all of our products in there. We've got the campaign set up, but how do we actually track the metrics? How do we know if these ads are actually making us any money? So this is where the dashboard comes in on the Shopify folder that I created. So come over here to scripts, come over to OpenAI dashboard, then come over to the readme.mac one. And what we're gonna do is in the same terminal file that you were already working in, what we're going to do is scroll down to this refresh data dashboard section and copy and paste both this script and this script into the terminal. If you closed out of that terminal tab or you're starting up the dashboard fresh, what you will have to do is copy and paste all of your information into the terminal tab again, just so it has context on your project. That's why it's important to save it in your original README file, just so you have that information for when you need it. And it may also ask you for your Shopify admin access token again. So if you do need help with that, just do the same copy and paste of that link where it gives you access to it. So now what we're going to do is copy and paste this in there first, and then we're going to grab this script next and paste that in there as well. Now, as you can see, it's starting to fetch orders. It fetched 500 orders, 544 orders from the last 30 days, and you can see one matched with the UTM search OpenAI. Now, if we want to open the actual dashboard, what we do is click right here, or copy and paste right there, and then now it will open up into a new tab with our actual dashboard. As we can see revenue, orders, items sold, average volume, and your ROAS, revenue by day. You can see this was a long time ago, and then revenue by campaign, categories, products, all of that sort of stuff. So now what we can do is come back to README folder here. If we want to add the actual ROAS, you have to add your ad spend manually. So basically what you do here is you edit your ad spend. So let's say we spent $100. Now you copy and paste this entire section, come back to your terminal tab, paste that in there. And then what it'll do is it'll fetch the orders again, and then update it with the ad spend. As we can see, now we have a 0.01 ROAS in our dashboard. I know this may seem super complicated for absolutely no reason, and I completely agree with you, which is why I am developing a Shopify app that handles this entire process. Essentially, in this app, you will have control over all of your campaigns and all of your analytics, so you can see it all in one place. Then you don't have to worry about any workarounds or terminal commands or anything like that. So if you want to join the waitlist to be the first to be notified when that is happening, I will leave a link to that in the description as well. And I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.